calculation. It's loading too slowly. Anyway. Oh, so we have a sadly limited time with you because you're super busy. So we wanted to see if you wanted to do your live auction during your call or after your call.
Oh, I think doing a live auction is not the most effective use of my limited time with my lovely people, you there in Canada.
All right. Well, we will.
I think you should have someone else do that.
That sounds great. All right. Well, then we
start the bidding at $1 million.
Absolutely. Well, we will do your auction just following your call then, and instead we will go on to some questions from these fine people on the Intertron. There's a post on the blog where people have been posting these questions, and this is a question that I really like because I haven't heard anyone ask this. I mean, you probably been asked it before, but during any of your time filming Star Trek, did you ever find yourself about to walk through one of the sliding doors only to discover that there was no crewman operating it and it wouldn't open for you?
Yeah, that happened with alarming frequency. Most of the time that would happen when the special effects guy just didn't get the cue, so that it wouldn't be set up and someone would walk into a door. But for me, I have a very overactive imagination, and I really like to pretend that I was on a real spaceship. And I would go walking through the set when no one was there, and on more than one occasion, just being lost in thought, would walk right into a door. If you watch Next Generation, especially the first 2 seasons, you will notice that when a door is on screen and actors have walked through that door, no one will say anything until the door closes behind them. And if you see that the door is off screen, you'll hear the door close with the special effect, but you won't actually see it close. And the reason that happened is the doors were actually quite loud. They were on pulleys and wires, and they made a lot of noise that was not especially futuristic. So we would have to be quiet until the doors closed behind us. Now my cat's coming to visit.
Hey!
Is that a $6 secret?
Hello.
So so we all just sort of got trained to not make any, to not talk until the doors were closed. So if you watch Next Generation, that is something that you will not be able to not know. You'll become very aware of it. Like no one ever talks when a door is closing behind them.
I'm going to write that down as your $6 secret. That's awesome. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kathleen wanted to know, did Patrick Stewart ever walk into a door?
I'm sure he did at least once. We all did. One time we did this joke once where the Enterprise was we were getting our asses kicked by the Borg, and we were being shot. It looks like there's people humping back in the very back of the room.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No, that's the creepy doll. And Alex. And Alex. It happens.
Creepy doll.
Just don't ask questions.
All right, things
Terrific.
guys. So Patrick made a big show of like stumbling down, like falling out of his chair, and then standing up, and then stumbling up the ramp, and then stumbling back behind Worf, and then stumbling down the other ramp, and then standing up, and then crashing into the wall, and actually knocked the wall of the set out. And I was sitting at the helm, and I said, "Captain, we have a hull breach."
That's fantastic.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. What's your? Ooh, we have so many googly eyes that we've been giving away this year. What?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So good. Yes, Anne helped us acquire those. Big thanks to Anne.
Yeah.
I know. We thought that we were calling in tomorrow, and she was going to come and talk with me, and there were going to be googly eyes. But she's at work, so sorry, you don't get Anne. You're stuck with me tonight.
We're doing lots of googly eyes in her honor.
She has the googly eyes so much now that when we go to a place, And I'm like, dude, you should put googly eyes in that thing. And she's like, oh, I left him in the car. I get mad. Like, how I have googly eyes with you? Like, that's unacceptable.
There's a question. There's a question on the blog, which is what is your favorite vandalized stunt?
We just went up to visit my sister and brother-in-law, and we met my nephew for the very first time, and he's about 3 months and 3 weeks old, and he was taking a nap. Anne was cradling him, and he was asleep. And Anne asked my sister if she could put googly eyes on him, not adhesive, just rest them on his eyes. And my sister said she thought that would be hilarious. So there is a picture that Anne put on Twitter day before yesterday of Anne holding Shane with googly eyes on his actual eyes. And it is equal parts really disturbing and really hilarious.
Awesome.
There's a question here about tabletop, which is there's a lot of love for tabletop.
Oh, thanks. I'm really glad to know that.
Is there a game that you have tried or would love to play on tabletop, but that would be too difficult to implement on the show?
Yeah, all of the card games that I love, Dominion and Seven Wonders, immediately come to mind. They're really great games. They're really fun to play, and they just don't translate to our format at all. We would have to have whole card cameras, and we would have to have running commentary. We already have 7 cameras on the show. We would have to add another 5 cameras to do that. And it's just not technically feasible. But what makes those games really fun and really wonderful is what happens in your head while you are waiting for your turn to come around. And it just doesn't translate to television. Steve Jackson Games publishes a Euro game that I love called Revolution, and it was the same problem with Revolution. There's what makes that game great is I know that you know that I know that you know, and that just, you know, if you just see what happens, it just doesn't work.
Have you found the table that you use on tabletop having a positive impact on your gaming? There's some people who are now seriously considering getting their own.
That table is the emissary table from our friends at Geek Chic Labs, and that was just Robert Gifford just brought that for us and then stayed on set the whole week to help make sure that everything was working. And let me tell you something, the table is great, the table is beautiful. In its normal configuration, it does not lend itself to flipping over all the little trains like when your wife plays with you. We had a false bottom in the table, and we had the table angled a little bit like this, so that you could see the pieces on the table a little bit, so it wasn't like that. But they make a set of solid wooden chairs that are, I don't know how they're made from witches or something. They're the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat on in my life. I prefer them to my very expensive, like ergonomic office chair. So now we understand that that there have actually been a number of orders for those tables where people call up and they want the red felt top just like we used on tabletop, which I think is great.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm pushing actually for an emissary in my house. I'm actually in my dining room right now, and I'm pushing to have an emissary. I'm cleaning up some tables, papers, so you can actually think that my dining room is clean. So this is my dining room table.
Your audio just cut out.
Oh,
no.
That's a nice dining room table, right? I mean,
That's a nice table.
if it was like a gaming table, but I can't get that past my wife.
Just a sec, we're just letting the thing catch up. Oh, I think we're back synced again. Sorry, I had a Skype thing there. Where in the world?
Yeah, that was a lot of movement. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen Sandiego is in a shallow grave.
That was dark.
Wow, I like it.
Well,
There's a question.
I cannot bury the body for you, but I'll help you bury the body.
There's a question from an Australian fan. Are you coming back to Australia anytime in the near future? Perhaps PAX Australia?
I hope very much that I'll be able to come back to Australia sooner than later. I am unfortunately not going to be able to attend PAX Australia this year because it is a direct conflict with San Diego Comic-Con. And it is just, Comic-Con is not as fun for me as it used to be. I can't really go just as a fan like I did for my entire high school and college years. I go mostly for work now. But we have such a large presence there with Geek and Sundry, and I always end up moderating panels for the shows that I work on. It's such a big and important part of my career to be there that I cannot be on another continent during Comic-Con. So unfortunately, I won't be able to go to PAX Oz. But I hope very much to go back to to Australia for something else in the not too distant future. Felicia Day's there right now and is tormenting me with photographs of all the places I told her to go.
Great. Dear Dr. Will, loved your guild shirt on Big Bang Theory recently. Will we ever get to hear your lecture on Star Trek flags?
So first of all, and we had to get permissions and clearances and things, and I'm really glad that Mary and Sarah in the costume department made that happen. I thought it was cool because I actually own that shirt in real life, and I like to bring pieces of Wil Wheaton Prime to evil Wil Wheaton whenever I get a chance to. And I think it is unlikely that we'll ever get to hear my lecture about the flags of Star Trek, which is a shame because the one I was starting with, the flag of the United Federation of Planets, is very interesting.
What is the punishment when someone breaks Wheaton's law and B's a dick?
And B's a dick.
It's Canadian.
Excellent choice of grammar. They get nominated for the. They get to be the Republican candidate for president in the election.
Snap.
Does he know about our rules? Sheet of rules?
Oh yeah. Can we wait? Where's
it's on the door, so we can't take it.
Is it
down.
like nailed to the door?
Yeah.
The one upstairs is pinned.
We have a big list of rules for people visiting the moon base this year. And I think there's about 10. It's just like, don't go to sleep here, don't eat our food because you can leave and we can't. And the first and last rule is don't be a dick.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm very happy to know that.
Sandwiched with
Charlie Brooker actually wrote in a column in I think the Guardian or the Telegraph 3 rules, and the third rule was don't be a dick.
Great.
That was pretty awesome.
Just so I have an ETA, how long do we have you for?
I've got about 2 minutes before I have to leave, and I'm actually getting nervous because there's traffic in LA, and I have to go pick my dogs up from daycare.
Well, in that case, how's about, because we're going to do your auction after we let you go, so how about you tell us all about the auction so they can hear it from you?
Okay, James came down to visit, how long ago, James? Like 2 months ago?
Yeah, a month and a half ago, I guess.
Yeah, because we have this awesome plan, okay? Check this out. Check out this perfect plan that cannot fail. James and Lady James are going to come down and visit.
Lady James.
And while we are visiting, we are going to go to the Staples Center, and we're going to enjoy a hockey contest.
Right.
And as it turns out, douchebag NHL owners have other plans. So instead of going to the game, we actually had the Kings play the Canucks in a simulated game in NHL 13 where the Kings destroyed the Canucks.
They didn't destroy the Canucks. It was 6-5. Come on.
It was live tweeted.
Yes, yeah, it was the Great Wheaton-Turner Cup of 2012. So we had a really good time doing that, and I took James into my cabinet of wonders and just offered up a bunch of the various things that I have around the house. So let's see. So I gave you some books, I think.
Yeah.
Was I able to find? I know we looked for one of the Fox comics. Did I find one?
No, sir.
No.
Couldn't remember if we found one or not. So it's a bunch of my books. Some of them are hard to get. Some are easier to get. They're all signed by me. They were signed, I think, I think they're signed in my kitchen, right? Is that where we did it?
Yep.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'd take the camera in there and show you, but I was cooking earlier, and that is not a thing you want to see. It's a horror show in there. So that's it. I wish that I had more exciting and better things, but James's small suitcase and my office being a disaster after a summer of going to conventions meant that we had to grab what was small and portable and on top of things.
We hear you already got rid of your exciting golf ping pong balls, so you know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The ping pong ball did very well. His owner checked in a couple of weeks ago, and he's doing all.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will take it from here and do this live auction with these books. And you know what? It might just be enough to push us over $1 million lifetime.
That would make me really happy. I mean, I know you're going to get there anyway, but it would be cool if I could be part of that, making that happen.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. We really, really appreciate it.
It's great to see you guys.
Yeah.
And I'll come and see you. Ann and I are coming up for the dinner, so we'll see you.
See you there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
I imagine that this year's Child's Play dinner is going to be heavily vandalized.
Oh God.
Yes.
Just hand them
Everywhere.
out when you come through the door. Here's
Yeah.
your googly eyes. Enjoy your dinner.
All the auction
Enjoy-
items.
Enjoy your fine googly eye wine.
Yeah.
Every auction item will have a pair of googly eyes on them.
All right.
That's probably right.
She can googly eyes mine. I'm cool with it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I gotta go pick up my dogs.
Okay. Goodbye, Will.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh no.
Auction time.
Can we get driver cam, please? We'll show off exactly what we've got here.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.